Conversations. Let's talk about it. Today's topic will be conflict resolution part 2. So, you heard from us a few weeks ago about the conflict resolution, and you got to absorb it and see how you would apply that to your life, possibly, or maybe you did, or maybe you didn't. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of conflicts, and that's probably a good thing. But today we got a second show for you, and we would like to talk about it. Just maybe a couple different things, couple different ideas we can go over, and once again, possibly you can glean from what we have to talk about. So, we're going to talk about when is conflict destructive. And there's just a couple of bullet points I want to go over, and then I might give you maybe a brief description of something on one of these bullet points. Um, Now, conflict is destructive, of course, when communication breaks down, and I think that's important because we have to communicate in some shape, form, or fashion. If it's hand signals, or if you're at work, you got to communicate with your boss. You might be running late. It's always good to communicate with people and let them know what you have going on in your life or in your world, because um, if you don't tell them, they don't know. You know what I mean? So, and even if you got your wife or your lover, your loved one, you want to communicate with them probably a little bit more, because you live with that person, and that person, I'm pretty sure, does care for you. So, tell them what's going on in your life. If y'all have plans and you can't make it, or it's something that you can't do, then communicate. That's all you got to do. So, what's another one on here? When winning becomes the desired goal. If both of y'all are trying to win at something, hey, football game, y'all got to be on the same page. So why are you not communicating with your teammates? You know what I'm saying? Um, go for it, man. I talked enough.
Okay, well, now I will say, as far as when winning becomes the desired goal, of course, you have to be on the same page with your teammates. But it's if we're going to speak on that from it possibly being destructive, especially when you're on the same team, everybody wants to win, but if they don't have the same playbook, so to speak, and you might not win the game. And you can also translate that into the business arena. Say, for instance, your boss or head salesperson suggests this idea and they have a quota that wants to be met or needs to be met, but you have a different way, or should I say, a different idea on how to obtain that sales quota, then if you and that other person are set in your ways and neither one of you think either's idea or way of getting that sales quota is the best, then that's when it can become destructive, because that's a conflict right there. You both want to win, but you're not resolving how to attack the sales quota, so to speak. So that, I think, when it becomes a desired goal, the only way that becomes destructive is when the people within the team or relationship are not willing to bend, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I say relationships are impacted when it becomes destructive? Because you, if you are going for a common goal, and anything that relegates that or turns the situation in another direction, of course they'll be disengaged, might cause some extra stress. It can create a toxic environment, different things like that. So we just want to get away from having conflict, and agreeing to disagree is a good thing, I say. Which leads us into the next head topic, When can conflict be productive? When can conflict be productive? I'm gonna let you start off with this one.
Excuse me. When can conflict be productive? I will start off with it breaks down communication barriers. And I think that point of view, breaking down a communication barrier, that would possibly mean that both individuals are, let's say, going above and beyond, or at least trying to see uh, where the other person is coming from. And also, if they're breaking down the barrier, that means they're trying to resolve or get to the next step to solve the issue. And also, when can conflict be productive? People develop a better understanding of one another. So let's just say we can ride off of that last bullet point. If the communication barrier has been broken down, so that could also mean that everybody or the people involved are starting to see the other person's point of view. And they're no longer solely thinking that they are the only right one. So if the conflict has broken down the barrier, riding off the last point, then if you just start to develop a better understanding of one another, then that right there is, I would say, a great step in resolving conflict, because if you could understand what that person wants or needs, or at minimum, you just respect them, that is a great step in resolving conflict.
Okay. Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that too. Getting a better understanding of one another. I think that sometimes, this is gonna go back to communication as well. We don't we don't know unless we ask. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you're not a person that's open to speaking with somebody, or just talking and kind of letting out your feelings, letting your guard down. I
Mm-hmm.
think we all afraid to get our feelings hurt, or we might take things a certain way that it's not meant. So if you're open minded, then you can accept what the person is telling you without getting offended about it, or you know not knowing what they were trying to convey to you exactly. And that's what I think conflict can be productive with two open-minded people.
Uh-huh.
Because everybody, sometimes you can tell somebody to calm down, and that'll set them off, and all you're trying to do is help them. But when you tell somebody to calm down because they are all over the place, then we're not gonna get anything done when you flying off and being
No.
ugly.
Nope.
So I just thought that was interesting because I've dealt with lots of different people just flipping out and going off, and I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to help, man. Come on now, you can't be acting like that, and you need some help.
What's that term? It's not narcissist, but it's a term I'm looking for a self-centered person that can't see outside of themselves. Those type of people, you and I think we spoke on that last episode. I forgot how we was phrasing it, but people like that are not trying to solve the conflict in a fair way. They only want it their way or no way. So you usually only want to deal with people like that on an on need basis. Like, say for instance, you work with them and they might actually do their job good. You do have some people like that who can actually do a good job, but it's like outside of that, it's like you really only want to regulate them to the need that you have of them. And then sometimes even their attitude or unwillingness to bend causes you not to even work with them in the future anyway. So, but yeah, those type of people, it's hard to solve conflicts with or resolve conflicts simply because it's only one way, and that's their way.
It's my way or the highway.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. I guess, and then we're gonna talk about the takeaway from this. When is conflict destructive? When can conflict be productive? Just think about those bullet points, and as you go throughout your day, and try to, if you see conflict, sometimes you can help out. If it's domestic, don't. Yeah, we talked about that on the other show, domestic. You shouldn't, get into a levels quarrel. But if it's something in work, or maybe with your family, maybe somebody's trying to accomplish something, and you know how to help them out. Just help them out. Talk to them. Don't be a butt about it. How about that?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
Well, I think the only thing I can say is to your last point you made about the individuals who fly off the handles too much, kind of piggybacking off of what I said earlier, just deal with those type of individuals on an all need basis, and if you can, just avoid them altogether, because you'll rarely be able to resolve a conflict with those type of people in there. They only want their way, and that's it. So the conflict resolution is probably something that's not on their mind. So yeah, those type of individuals, just stay away from them if you can.
There you go. Well, uh, this is another episode of Conversations. Let's talk about it. Conflict resolution, folks. It works. Signing off, Terror.
DR.
All
Have a
right.
great day.
Have a great day.